All right, YouTube, this Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit, back with another video on this Thursday. I did a video earlier today where you seen that CNN and their panel had to finally admit that Joe Biden's handlers knew he was suffering from mental decline, that he was incapacitated as far as it was his ability to run this country. But they hid that from the people and made you think that it was a right-wing conspiracy and don't believe your own eyes about what we're seeing going on with Joe Biden. So they had to admit that to the public today. Now we have another Democratic individual who's turning on his party and revealing their secrets so much to the point to where he confirms that there is a deep state that Donald Trump was talking about. So it seems like all these so-called conspiracy theories are only conspiracy theories until they're found to be true. Because I'm talking about Mayor Adams of New York. Mayor Adams of New York announced that he's going to be running the next election as an independent. Now, if you remember, the Biden administration tried to prosecute Mayor Adams when he started going against the narrative as far as the immigrants in New York and the money for the immigrants and the strain that the immigrants were having on the city of New York. After he started speaking against their immigration policies, he was indicted. Trump came in, and of course, Trump, pardoned him or dismissed the case, so to speak. But the thing about it is, I want you to hear Mayor Adams admit to this secret deep state that is above the politicians. And him being a mayor himself, meaning above what he was even able to get accomplished in New York. So without further ado, I'm gonna get up into the clip. It's from let me give a shout out to the base conservative. Shout out to base conservative. He put the clips together. So check out Mayor Adams. This is for fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act for commentary and education. Check out what the mayor says.
Right. I am announcing that I will forego the Democratic primary for mayor and appeal directly to all New Yorkers as an independent candidate in the general election.
The mayor's announcement comes one day after a federal judge dismissed the corruption charges against him permanently, not allowing the Trump administration to keep them hanging over his head.
Well. Never in a million years did I think I would see this. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope all's good wherever you are. Mayor Eric Adams was just on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz and the boys, where he goes off, slams the Biden administration, talks about people having crazy Trump derangement syndrome, and recommends everybody read Kash Patel's book. Didn't expect this. Timestamps are in the video. Let's get it.
But it is a shot at your political career.
Oh,
and is it frustrating to not, or do you know who you think it came from? Like, is Biden aware of this, or is it the people that are underneath Biden? Is it completely separate?
That's a great question. That's a great question. There are a lot of people, and I don't want to sound conspiracy theory, but there's a permanent government. There are people that see presidents and mayors come and go. Their attitudes will wait you out. You know what book is a great book, man? Everybody should read the book, Kash Patel's Government Gangsters.
Okay.
You should
on the pod.
Yeah, you should read that book, man.
Okay.
Kash breaks this down.
What is he? And is this what
he's now the FBI director?
Of course, we love that.
Yeah.
But is this what people refer to? And I think this word has been used too much, but the deep state or whatever it is.
It's not used too much. It's real, brother.
Oh, really?
Brother, think about it.
Who's part of it? What are there current senators and that kind of stuff, or is it people that we don't even know, but they're always existing?
You know, I have never seen anyone do such a good job of defining that deep state. You should have him on.
I would. Tell him to come on.
You should have him on.
We would love it.
The way he.
He's probably listening right now, right?
The way, because he was in. It's like me talking about what happens in NYPD after 22 years.
Yeah.
Cash was in the DOD. He was in the FBI. He prosecuted terrorists. So he comes with this wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the way he breaks it down,
Yeah.
it's just unbelievable what this deep state is about and why it's so important for Americans that we cannot have a weaponizing of our prosecutorial powers. Now imagine the Southern District, right? Southern District of New York. That's
Now you got to remember, before the Democratic Party turned on him about their immigrants, he knew it was a deep state that he was working for then. Why is he so forthcoming now? You got to ask yourself that.
one of the most powerful U.S. Attorney's office. In their mind, they say, we're sovereign. You know what that means?
What do you mean they said they're sovereign?
They don't have to answer to anyone.
Oh.
They don't have to answer to the president. They don't have to answer to the U.S. Attorney in Washington, the Attorney General in Washington. They believe they're a sovereign entity. You're not elected. You know what I'm saying? Imagine an entity believing they don't have to answer to anyone but
you have to answer to the people. Yeah. And ultimately the people that we put in power.
Again, I'm still shocked at this. Good for Eric Adams. We've been seeing these moments over the last few months, right? We've been seeing this coming to fruition, but now with the charges being dropped against them, free reins. And good on him. Good on him. Let's get back to the video.
Because what Biden's Justice Department did was unbelievable. You place mothers on FBI watch lists because you are worried about what they're being taught to children in school.
Wait, what is that?
Yeah, you know, they had mothers.
If you seen my video earlier today, Biden was not in control. They said that Biden didn't even know what day it was, who he had talked to. He was disoriented. He had been in decline for years. So who was actually running the government and making these decisions?
Families placed on FBI watch lists, terrorist watch lists, because of their advocacy around some of the things that they're teaching their children in school. They wanted to acknowledge, they call them terrorists. I'm telling you, you got to see what that Justice Department did. And a lot of people want to ignore what you know, they talk about my case.
Yeah.
But when Biden pardoned his son, he said, the Justice Department has been politicized.
Yeah. That was
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We're not like Biden people.
It's like, it is a tricky thing because, you know, I'm pardoning my kid 100% if I have that power. But at the same time, I understand the frustration that you must absolutely feel. Okay, so
and we're not hearing
the same criticism.
No one from the Justice Department quit. None of them saying, I think what you're doing is wrong, so I'm quitting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, read Cash's book.
This is the thing that I think is is really frustrating, is that, like, we know your name, we know Biden's name, we know Hunter's name, we know Trump's name. These people that you were talking about or Cash was talking about, none of us know their names.
You're going to know the name in the books.
Okay, I'm going to look because, because, like, how can we hold people accountable that were not elected by us, not democratically chosen, and are the ones allegedly behind these decisions? But how can we hold them accountable? We don't know who the fuck they are.
Right.
And why are you telling me? You know the names.
I don't know.
Are you scared?
When you read, no.
Dyslexia, baby.
No, when you read the book, I don't remember all the names as they listed. He did a good job of documenting some of the case history, of documenting.
See, Eric Adams said he knows some of the names. He just asked him for some of the names. So why is he so forthcoming? But how many of you out there even doubted that when Trump said it was a deep state, that there was a deep state? I know you let mainstream media convince you that when Joe Biden was falling down and being disoriented, nothing was wrong with them. You got to think about what these people are really doing. Think about what he's saying.
So I can't blurt out every name when I remember.
Yeah.
But it's all in the book. He does an amazing job of documenting the case history. Like you look at the
Which case?
Old cases. There's a couple of cases.
Got it.
Like he goes into what was happening in the Justice Department under the previous administration, and how the number of people who were under investigation were just political people. You know, I mean, the book is a good book.
Do you get a nudge, like when you start speaking out?
Yes.
Do you get like a private phone call from somebody or an email that goes, "Hey, why don't we go a different direction about this? It might not be good for you politically." Does that happen?
What people told me when I criticized what was happening to our city around the migrants and asylum seekers, they said, "Eric, they got many ways to come at you."
Really?
Right.
And is this commonplace within politics? Like, did you experience this as borough president when you had strong opinions? Were you like, hey, if you go against the administration, for the mayoral administration, they might come down on you? Is this just how politics works, or is this something specific to like federal government and control?
I think it's a combination of, people weaponize their authority in every business.
Yeah.
It's not just unique to politics. It becomes more costly when you're using prosecutors as a weapon against political opponents. I'm facing 35 years in jail.
No. Wow.
Think about it.
I didn't know.
There's some upgrades.
Think about it. And it cost me over $3 million
Personally.
Right.
Hold on. So
think about this for a moment. You know what I'm saying? So this is real shit. Man.
So these people would 100% be totally fine with you being behind your bars for 35 years, completely broke, just so that they could send a message to other states not to push back?
Make an example.
Read Cash's book.
Wow.
And the thing is, I keep saying this and people don't like it. They get upset. The Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Yeah.
You can hate someone so much that even if they do something
You're blind to it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that? And you can like or dislike Elon, but you don't have any right blowing up someone's Tesla.
Right. Exactly.
You don't have any right.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You don't have any right going in and destroying.
They drew a dick on his Tesla.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, by the way. That was
you understand what I'm saying?
A white dick too, small.
Small white dick.
But think about that.
Now, to be fair,
they should get 40 years.
But yeah, so that does happen.
That's the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, I'm upset that you are doing Doge and you're closing down jobs, but you know what? You should close down Tesla. What about those people that work there?
Dude, I literally said that. I was on this guy's podcast, and I was like, listen, I totally understand you, Theo Vaughn's podcast, and I was like, I totally understand that, like, you people who are critical of Elon, there's reasons to be critical. Everybody should have the freedom to be critical, right?
Right.
And I go, but hoping that Tesla shuts down,
right?
Like, I understand you're upset that people lost jobs. It doesn't improve the situation if you make more people lose jobs.
Right.
He's the richest guy.
Right.
Yeah, he's the richest guy in the world. He's going to be okay.
Right.
He's not the one hurt. The people that work there. So you're upset these people lost jobs. You're like, I know the solution. More people lose jobs.
Think about
Guys, before we get to the next clip, if you don't mind, just smash that thumbs up button for your boy. That actually goes a really, really long way to help me out. And also, if you're not yet subscribed and it's not your first time here, hopefully this could be the video that I earn your subscription. Can be fiction. I'm more into real life stuff. I'm into.
That's it for it. He's just going off into his advertisement. But what do you guys think? Mayor Adams is confirming that the deep state that's been at odds and at war with Donald Trump exists. Say, watch politicians come and go. And it wasn't no coincidence that when he started speaking against the immigration crisis, that they would find something to prosecute him on. Because at that time, the Biden administration were keen on using legislation and legal warfare in their prosecutions, their investigations, things they were doing. And he's just confirmed it. So, what do you people in New York think? You know, this is your mayor. We talked about Brandon Johnson a couple of days ago and what's going on in Chicago. What's going on with these liberal mayors and attorney generals? It seems like what we're seeing is they are completely controlled by the deep state. That's what it looks like. But that's all I got for you this evening. It's Detroit's HPTV, signing to you out of Detroit. Like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. As always, salute to all patrons. Keep your head on the swivel. Peace.